My Cool Inventions, where you vote to make or break an inventor's dream. With your hosts, Akos, the solutionist, and John Creemans, the doctor of shopology. Now, here's John and Akos.
Welcome, you're tuned into the My Cool Inventions Network. I'm Akos, the solutionist, back in the saddle today, and I got John Creemans overside.
So, inventor George Flanigan joining us today. He actually has said that, he's created something better than seatbelts and better than airbags.
Better than seatbelts and airbags. I got to tell you a story. Let's get him on the show. Good.
It's the computer-controlled car restraint.
Computer-controlled car restraint. All right, I got to hear about more about this.
I'm curious now.
Well, welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm George Flanigan.
Hey, George Flanigan, how you doing? Listen, if you're watching our digital feed, you can watch him. He's on Skype right now. You can see him. Good, fine-looking man. He's got his best suit on, best tie on. He's got his hair combed. So tell us about your invention, George.
My invention is a computer-controlled car seat restraint that is going to replace airbags. This restraint is for a 400-pound man or a 5-pound baby. How does it work? You sit down on a car seat and buckle up a net instead of a 2.5-inch wide seatbelt. The net covers your entire abdomen. With a net, you never leave your car seat, so there'll be no more flying babies. The computer is turned on when you buckle up. After a car crash, the computer controls your speed as you press against the net. Almost 1 million people are killed in auto accidents every year, and millions more are injured. We can cut that number by 90%. Airbags, over 100 million, are now being recalled. Airbag, plastic, and metal parts explode in your face at 200 miles per hour. Self-driving cars, billions are being spent because they're supposed to be safer. One man has already been killed. Don't forget, they are controlled by GPS satellite 200 miles in outer space. Our safety feature is ready today, not in 5 years or 50 years.
So you have a net. So it's not a seatbelt. You're saying it's a net?
Yes, it's a net.
So is it a net that covers?
The prototype is right behind me here for a baby.
Okay, I'm looking at it. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that baby's net work? So the net is that a blanket in her lap, and does the net go across her, or where is the net?
The net covers your entire abdomen.
Okay.
I have it down to the chest level here on this doll.
Okay. All right.
But in an accident, the problem is that most, especially children, they go out a car window. So with this net, you will never go out a car window. But like I'm saying, it's for a 400-pound man and a 5-pound baby.
So in 1966, it's very, very funny you said this. 1966, yesterday we were driving, I saw a Chevrolet Impala, a 1966 Chevrolet Impala driving on the road. I haven't seen one for years, and that was exactly the car my dad had, and that was the first year the car had seatbelts, and I had just the lap belt, and the lap belt actually failed me, John. It actually came loose, but it did slow me down a bit, but I was heading out the windshield. My head had already left the windshield. My dad managed to grab the hood off my back hoodie and managed to save me from going completely out the windshield, but I did cut both temporal arteries, and I was bleeding all over the place. Had about 84 stitches. My ear was in 4 places. But going through the windshield is a really dangerous thing. I know from real life experience. I was out of windshield once in a car back in 1966. So how does this net prevent? Like, does it suddenly tighten up, or is it in a tight position to begin with, or how does it work?
Okay, I didn't realize I was going to have time to explain it. All right, the net, when you sit down, when you buckle up the net, the computer turns on, and the computer reads your position in the seat.
Okay.
All right, if you're in an accident, you go forward, it controls your speed and your pressure against the net as you're going forward. All right,
wow.
As you're no longer going forward, it'll return you to your original seating position. So in case of a rollover or multi-car crash, the net is always there working. You don't get one shot at it like you do with an airbag.
So George, I'm looking at that. Seeing you on screen right now, and I'm looking at the way that net goes down. Isn't it?
Right.
How do you? So instead of putting a seatbelt on, I'm going to wrap this net across my front. Wouldn't that be uncomfortable when you're driving?
Just like you do. You're going to buckle up just like you do it with a car seat.
Okay.
With seatbelt.
So the seatbelt's still there, but this net is over top of the seatbelt.
Well, the net is connected to a buckle. Just like with a seatbelt.
Got it. So the net's connected to the buckle, and then it sits there. And there's a computer module built into the seat.
Now, as soon as you buckle up, it turns on the computer.
Okay. And the module, is it like underneath the seat, behind the seat? Where does the computer module live?
I'm really glad you asked that because I forgot that. This thing, the computer can be the computer-controlled machine can be attached to the back of the seat, or it can be embedded in a new car seat.
All right. Well, listen, let's do his pitch. Let's do his pitch. 'Cause we
yeah,
have all kinds of questions for you. Now, we're going to give George 60 seconds to pitch it. He's going to get a hot 60 seconds, and you guys all vote thumbs up or thumbs down. How do you do that? You go to mycoolinventions.com, hit the vote button, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can vote on Facebook. You can go to the Facebook page, My Cool Inventions Facebook page, and vote there. George, have you prepared for your 60-second pitch?
Yes, I have.
All right, let's do it.
You got any ideas?
I have a great idea.
Pitch it to me. Pitch it to me.
Hey, I got an idea. Well, let's hear it.
Good morning. I am George Flanigan. My invention is a computer-controlled car seat restraint that is going to replace airbags. This restraint is for a 400-pound man or a 5-pound baby. How does it work? You sit down on a car seat and bulk up a net instead of a 2.5-inch wide seatbelt. The net covers your entire abdomen. With a net, you never leave your car seat. No more flying babies. The computer is turned on when you buckle up. After a car crash, the computer controls your body speed as you are pressed against the net. Almost 1 million people are killed in auto accidents every year, and millions more are injured. We can cut that number by 90%. Airbags, over 100 million, are now being recalled. Airbags, plastic and metal parts explode in your face at 100 miles an hour, at 200 miles an hour. Self-driving cars, billions are being spent because they were supposed to be safer. One man has already been killed. Don't forget that.
Make or break an inventor. Be our shark and vote. Be bold and submit your product. What the heck? You could only make millions.
Great job, George. Time ran out on you. So what were the last couple sentences you were going to read there? I saw the last couple sentences. What were the last couple sentences?
Our safety feature is ready today, not in 5 years or 50 years.
All right. So any closing remarks? Like close the deal?
Like where to go to find out more information?
Find more information? Vote for you? What's the price? Come on, close the deal.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, our safety receipt system has been proven safe hundreds of times every day since 1942.
All right, we're going to talk about closing the deal after we come back from the break. But in the meantime...
I just want to know where his website is.
Yeah, what's the website, George? At least give us the website. Come on.
Replace airbags and seatbelts on YouTube.
So replace airbags and seatbelts. You have to go to the YouTube site because I guess he's got videos and stuff over there.
All right.
We got to see that. Replace airbags and seatbelts on YouTube. George,
Or Inventions Save Lives. That's on YouTube too.
Inventions Save Lives. There's another.
Don't you have a .com on that too, though, don't you? InventionsSaveLive.com.
No, you just go to YouTube. It'll come up.
All right. So YouTube Inventions Saves Lives, and what was the first one, John? I can't remember the first one.
Replace airbags and seatbelts.
Replace airbags and seatbelts. Okay, we got that in. So everybody vote. Go to My Cool Inventions right now. Hit the vote button. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Facebook. Go to My Cool Inventions Facebook page. You can see the pitch. Yeah. Excuse me. Vote thumbs up and thumbs down. Everybody should vote. It's an interesting idea, John. I think it's a revolutionary.
I've got questions only because I think it's going to be. I don't know if I want to have a net draped in front of me when I'm driving a car.
You haven't been through a windshield. Let me tell you, go through a windshield, you'll have an elephant.
No, actually, I have. No.
Have you? Oh, yeah.
I remember I had a major car crash on college.
All right. So when we come back after the break, we got plenty of questions for George, and we're going to ask him all kinds of things about this replacing your seatbelt and your airbag, so stick around. Welcome back. You're tuned into the My Cool Inventions Network. I'm ACOS. John's right here beside me. We're your hosts on My Cool Inventions Network every day. We feature an inventor, and today's inventor is really interesting. We got George. He's got an alternative to the seatbelt and the airbag. It sounds like a net that's hooked up to a buckle. It's got a computer built in, and it sounds like the computer regulates how quickly or how forward motion you have, put you back in the seat, and it sounds a lot safer than an airbag. Yeah. And I know seatbelts have got a lot of. I never understood why they never went to a double harness on a seatbelt. Like
they do that like in race cars.
Yeah, why not in regular cars? Because I'm not sure. And I've got a lot of history on this product because not only have I been through a windshield of a car, but one of my first products at trade shows. Did you know this? Something I tell you didn't know. No. We used to have a seatbelt adjuster, because what happened is the seatbelt would sit right here, and the seatbelts were made. I remember the pitch now. The seatbelts were made for the average. Listen to this: 5'11", 240-pound man. So if you're not an average 5'11", 240-pound man, your seatbelt didn't fit. If you're a lady, your seatbelt was right here on your face, right? If you're a big guy, the seatbelt was and what happens is everybody grabbed the seatbelt, put it under their arm. Which is probably a really dangerous place for it. Sure. And also the seatbelt was breaking sternums on accidents. So we used to sell a seatbelt adjuster that allowed you to adjust the height of the seatbelt. Then all of a sudden the cars started manufacturing that into the car. Yeah. So my product disappeared because they solved the problem. But however, the seatbelt isn't a really great solution. And the airbag, according to George, is also not a really good solution.
That's why they don't want anybody under, younger than 14 sitting in the front seat?
Yeah, 200 miles an hour, but although it sure beats going through a windshield, though, so it saves lives. So George, John had a few questions here, and I have the same kind of questions. So you've got this net. I'm looking at your picture. If you're watching the digital feed.
Right behind you there, on your left-hand side.
If you're watching the digital feed, we have on Skype. So go to Facebook or YouTube. You can also see the live digital feed there, or the digital feed. He's got a baby there in a seat with a net apparently across the thing, the lap. So does that net is it like a blanket when I'm driving? Is it smaller than a blanket? What's the size of that net when I'm sitting in the seat?
The size of the net will completely cover the abdomen of a 5-pound baby or a 400-pound man. And it's a net like a fish net.
Oh, it's a fish net.
I can double the safety rating if I just used a net instead of a 2.5-inch wide seat.
Okay. So what is is it 12 inches thick or is it 24 inches thick? How thick is it from top to bottom is it?
Oh, the net is an eighth of an inch thick.
An eighth of an inch?
Of the net?
Oh, no. How much coverage?
From the width. The width of it all.
Oh, well, the person sits in the net. It's expandable.
Okay.
The person, when you sit in the car seat, it will cover your entire abdomen. So, it doesn't matter how big you are.
So I sit there.
How small you are.
I sit there. I strap it in. When I spread the net out over my body?
No, it will be all spread out.
It's already all spread out. Okay.
It's going to cover your entire abdomen.
Okay. So the net is already kind of big. I pull it aside. And does the net sort of slip away into the side of the door, or does the side of the chair, or does it sort of hang there?
No, the machine in back of the machine that's either embedded into the car seat or attached to the back of the car seat, that will take up all the slack.
This is a brilliant idea. How far along are you into licensing? Are car companies talking to you, or what's happening here?
What I need a car crash test, a certified car crash test that proves that this thing is absolutely foolproof.
So how much does that cost? How much does that cost?
To embed it, I want to be embedded in 5 car seats, not in just 2 in the front for the adults. I want to have it for the children. So I want it embedded in 5 car seats, and then I want to take it to Detroit and have a car crash test run. The whole thing is going to be about $300,000 to $500,000.
A car crash test is every time we see those videos of the dummies in the cars, it's a $300,000 test they're running?
Yeah, if you run it with a real car, it's going to be $150,000 to $200,000.
Wow!
Remember, I have to have this built into the car seat. Now, on a production line basis, we can do this for less than $2,000 per car.
So the building just to make the contraption or the computer module and that whole entire encasement would cost you that much money?
Right.
Have you talked to car companies? I mean, you must have been knocking on these car companies' doors already, right?
They have no interest in safety whatsoever. Their only interest is in styling and horsepower.
That was my only concern. Now, and I'm a safety guy too, because in college I rolled a car on the highway. I hit the berm of the road and overcorrected, and broke both my shoulder bones and had a big gash on the top of my head. But I had a seatbelt on. It kept me inside this little itty bitty, I don't know what, Renault or whatever little tiny car it was.
You were driving a French car.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, there you go. I just wanted to destroy the cars, but I'm looking at it as a thing. Okay, so I understand that they wanted looks and style and feel. Isn't there some way that you can make this so that I don't know if I want to be driving with a big mesh in front of me, right?
I don't know.
Do you see what I mean?
I'm okay with it.
If there was a way to have that expand out of that belt or wherever it is in the front, where you don't have, I guess, your whole entire body, or at least upper body, covered.
It's better than the belt. I think it's better than the lap belt and the shoulder belt.
Well, you're still going to have that across, right, George? I mean, when it goes across your body, it's going to be there, right?
Well, if you have your entire abdomen, let's say a pregnant woman, if she's got her entire abdomen covered, okay, and she's not pressed against the 2.5-inch seatbelt, she's not going to lose her unborn child in a car accident. Now, you were talking about you survived a car crash because of the seatbelt.
Yeah.
That means the speed of the car was less than 45 miles.
No, it was actually 75 miles an hour.
Oh, 75?
But he was rolling, so the energy was dissipating while he was rolling.
So
So he was losing energy until he came to a tree.
I was very, very lucky. No, just
tree.
down the highway.
So,
Because the national car tests are done at 45 miles per hour.
Okay.
so George,
Yeah,
I
so
love
it's not.
I love this idea. I mean, aesthetically, I think I can accept the thing around my abdomen. What I won't accept, though, is something hanging and dangling. I hate my seatbelt dangling already.
See, that's what
I don't like dangling because even I have a pretty good car and my seatbelt still dangles outside in the road.
Yeah, so is mine.
Sometimes, and so I don't like that. You have to sort of disappear on me as I got out of the
It
car.
will.
Okay, that's cool.
It will all be controlled by the computer.
So
Okay.
When it tightens up against your body, and then it just loosens up about
So
a
you
quarter of a
still
pound.
got to get a
So it's
car.
not tight against your body, and
Yeah.
there's just not going to be
Yeah.
anything dangling.
You
Okay.
got to get a car company to get you behind this. Otherwise, you'll never get off the ground. I mean, you still got to
absolutely.
make the
That's why I'm
sale
on
to
your
the
show.
customer. Well, you still got to make the sale to the customer, and you're sure. I mean, you've knocked on doors of car companies. You've gone to Detroit or wherever these. Have you gone to
Down to
car
Chicago,
shows? Have you've gone to big car shows and tried to talk to some of the executives, or how are you reaching out to the car companies?
I haven't gone to the car shows, but I do have a lot of executives and former executives that have called me privately and told me that you'll never get it done if it doesn't have their name on it. They want to be the inventor.
So no problem. Oh, but listen, write a check. You could call it whatever you want. It's gonna be your baby. Just write the check out to
That's a major hang
George.
up on this thing.
So
If it has to do with safety, the car companies want to invent it.
that's no problem. They can invent it. You're right. I guess. Like, are you good with that? You're
You
good
could
with
sell
that,
the
right?
patent, right? You could sell
You
the
could sell
patent.
the
just
patent,
give it to
right?
them.
Absolutely.
That's the spirit, George. So, how much would you sell the patent for?
Well, I don't have a figure right now. You just caught me by
Oh.
surprise with that.
Okay. Two things I got to correct you on. Number one, never make a pitch without a closing statement. So when you were doing the pitch, you should have said, listen, I need 300 grand. I need this car crash test.
Yeah.
Here's my email address. Phone me. Let's do a partnership. Let's do a deal. I need to get this off
Elon
the
Musk,
ground.
call me now.
Yeah, Elon Musk, call me now. By the way, that's your target guy, right? Elon Musk, John's right, is your target guy. And by the way, Porsche is working on to compete with mold Elon Musk right now. Go call the Germans because the Porsche is trying to go after the luxury car market electronics too. The second thing is when anybody asks you, how much is it? That's a number you should be thinking about every single day. Put it on the mirror in the bathroom when you're shaving and doing your hair. And if it gets higher, just change the number, okay?
Yeah.
But every single day you should have an exit price all the time. I tell inventors all the time, never get involved in an inventor if you already don't know the exit price. You want to buy my invention? You want to buy laundry sheets right now from me? It's just $6 million. $6 million is my price. Always have your price, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's the exit strategy. Your goal in life is to make as much money as you can from your invention. So you can't do that unless you know your exit price. So I tell inventors, I'll tell you the same thing. Make sure you know your exit price all the time. If it changes, then raise it, lower it, whatever you have to do. But when anybody asks you, I want to write a check for your invention, don't ever hesitate.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Can I
listen,
speak here?
pardon me?
Oh, okay. I do have an exit price. It's $20 million.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
But the thing is, I want 10%. I want to stay in for 10% for my children.
All right, so the guy wants $20 million. He wants 10% for his children, and all you have to do is reach out to George. Listen, you're a great inventor. We loved on the program. This is an awesome invention. All the best of luck to you. And vote thumbs up or thumbs down for George. Go to mycoolinventions.com. That's mycoolinventions.com. Hit the vote button. Go to Facebook, My Cool Inventions Facebook page. George, you make sure you share that thing. Get it out there. We need a big thumbs up for you. Get the attention of the car manufacturers.